This is the 2-9 Report.
Welcome to the 2-9 Report. I'm your boy, Sam Madison. We're back in the studio. I know we've been on the road for a very long time, but, man, we back here over here at Beacon Sports, man. Unbelievable, Turo. Love to have you back on the set.
Oh, man, I'm happy just to be in the building. You know, Arturo Freeman here, 6-year veteran, alongside of my guy, flying high with him, Sam Madison, at the 2-9 Report. Excited about this, man.
Man, we got a whole lot going on, Turo, but, you know, I know I'm going to get it, so I'm going to dish it out there and give it to myself now. University of Louisville, University of Miami. I was talking trash, but
you were.
I can't lose, Turo, because I am a diehard UM fan, so only when they're playing Louisville. So we took it on the chin, but I had a blast. It was amazing. You're going to see some of the things. I'm going to release some of the pictures on the 2-9 Report Instagram, so y'all make sure y'all go and follow them. Had fun. I hit the train out of the gate.
I saw you. I saw the pictures.
Yeah, man.
You're the ultimate fan. You are the ultimate fan. Listen, when you post those pictures, I need you to put ultimate fan on top of that.
All
you
right,
are the ultimate fan.
I got it.
Yes.
I got it. Turo, man, have an opportunity to go to Louisville. Then the Dolphins played at Indianapolis. You know, it was heartbreaking, but I can deal with it. I can deal with it. Listen, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm a Dolphin for life. So with the loss, I can handle it. Two stacked teams, two teams right there at the tier.
Similar.
And then you're on the road as a Dolphin. We want to come out victorious, but the home team, if you're evenly matched, they're the ones that should come out victorious every time.
You're playing away.
Yeah.
The way you explain it, you're playing away. So you want to go in there and get a victory, absolutely. But what the Dolphin fans have to understand, what's most important right now, we're second in the East. We're sitting just where we should be, even with the record being 2-4. So at the end of the day, we're second in the East. That's the most important thing. A lot of fans don't understand that strength of schedule. They don't understand the East, how it's laid out, and what's more important to get into the playoffs. So our main focus is the person in the team that's in front of us.
That is most important, man. We have another game to get it right.
Absolutely.
In my 2-9 voice, I'm 2-9, OJ McDuffie voice. Man, I was sitting in the stands. You know, I like talking to fans. I like to try to get the feel. You know, I sit there, and I don't really give them a whole lot of information, Turo, at first. You know, the first thing I do when I first come in, and they sit there and they look, and I'm always going to have my Waddle jersey on. So they sitting there is like, you're going to be nice, right? I'm like, oh, yes, ma'am, for sure. I'm going to be nice. You know, first half, I was digging into him like, yeah, let's go. I'll be cheering and ranting and raving. And then we start to communicate a little bit. And then, you know, I have to go, you know, get some spirits every now and then. You know, I'm a fan, Turo. You know, before
The
I've been
ultimate fan.
I've been a coach.
Don't just say you're a fan. You're the ultimate fan.
And I've been a coach. And then, hey, man, I'm a fan. So I'm doing what the fans do. But unbelievable having an opportunity just to go and have fun in Indianapolis and see all these different stadiums, just like you talk about. But, you know, we got a lot going on. Like we talked about, it was Louisville homecoming, but it wasn't anything. University of Miami, they came out, you know, and laid the pedal down from the beginning of the football game. But, you know, one of the things that I really want to do is, you know, just thank the moms and the dads, you know, and the coaches that coach our high school players that's going to college. Man, I met a mom. She left probably about 5 o'clock Friday morning, going to see one of her kids play college football.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden she was getting on another plane and then going to the University of Louisville, the Miami game, to watch it. Man, that's sacrifice. That's dedication. That's financial stress.
Yes.
It's mental stress. I mean, it's just a whole lot. But, you know, since we've been playing college football, our parents used to travel a lot. And my dad would get on the road and drive all the way to Louisville. My mom be right there and travel. Just wanted to say, you know, thank you to the parents and the coaches and the dads that are high school, because Pat did it a long time. He's the head coach of a football team.
Right.
And his kid was playing at the University of Alabama. As soon as that game was over Friday, get on a flight, go and see his kid. But hats off to the families and the moms and the dad that's doing all the traveling.
Definitely a sacrifice, and definitely what you're saying is unbelievable for the parents. Our parents did the same thing without the NIL. So that's a different spinoff. You know, now that the NIL is present, it does give that little bit of space and a little bit of financial relief sometimes, depending what school you are.
Yep.
But still sacrifice, still a big commitment, and definitely, like you said, hats off to our parents that are out there doing it big.
Well, when you're in the NCAA, there's two types of stadiums, right? There's the stadium on campus. When the stadium's on campus, Turo, it's like wine and beer and water, And then you have those stadiums that's off campus where you get the whole
It's lobster.
Oh, my God, Turo, listen.
Right.
I had a blast. Our campus, even our stadium is right on the edge of campus.
Same.
And you can see Churchill Downs when you're up at the top overlooking. Amazing.
You went to rich school.
It was, yeah, absolutely. Come on, man. Listen, between University of Miami as well as Louisville, both of their campuses is off campus.
Right.
Their stadium's off campus. You can have whatever you want when you go to the bar, and I definitely did.
You are the ultimate fan. Listen, that is your name for the rest of the year. So since you're talking about your Louisville, I must talk about, the nation's best.
Oh, here we go.
University of South Carolina.
Okay. Let's hear
Going to Oklahoma this weekend.
All right.
35-9. A good cock whooping. I don't curse, but hey, we handled business. Super excited for those young men because I had an opportunity to go and watch them play in person. First game, it was kind of rough, but they won. Second game, still came out with a different type of team, and I was very impressed. Defensive line got some guys that are top 10, top 15 in their position for the 25 NFL draft. So super excited to see those guys play at a high level. 9 sacks by 9 different players. That's unbelievable. 2 touchdowns by defensive players. I got a cheap little jersey. I hope they hear me. I have a cheap little jersey in my house, and I was able to put it on and walk around there and just,
feel good about yourself.
Good about myself. And know those guys in Oklahoma and knowing the fans, they took us for lightly.
Right. But I don't know why, Jerome. You look at last week, bro, you took one of the best teams in college football all the way to the wire. So, and that's why I love college football, right? Because you got to take it all the way till the clock says 0-0-0. And just like I told, the lady that I was sitting at, and the beginning of the Dolphins game with the Colts, we were running away with it. We were running the football, Arturo, what we talked about, being able to run the football, control the clock, not really putting Huntley in positions where he had to really, utilize his arm, using quarterback runs.
Control game.
But second half, it totally changed. But what happened? Our third quarterback goes down with an injury, and then you have to bring Tyler Boyd back in. And once Tyler Boyd came back in, you could see the momentum totally shift for Turo in the stadium, the feel of the stadium, the energy totally changed. And then the players looked like they felt it as well because the running game started to be a little lax.
Yes.
And then when you look at the Colts, man, they started hitting on all cylinders, making good catches, creating third downs, and they just kept the ball, and then time run out.
When your third quarterback comes in the game, I try to allow fans to understand what the dynamics look like. What do they look like? That's when your head coach, if he's an offensive-minded guy, he is coaching his butt off now. So now everything is going to change. The system is not the same because now the players, they feel it. They know, okay, the emphasis all week was to run the ball. Yep. So now when you get your third string in there, I'm in this ear, those little 15 seconds that you have with the mics on, and you're telling that third string quarterback what's open, what to look at. So he's going to look like a robot. So everything changes. Not only the timing of the passes, the timing, the rhythm of the offense changes. So it's a difficult position for most teams when you're injured quarterbacks, when your starter gets injured, and then now your backup gets injured. Yep. Now you got to go back to the relief, which is your third guy. So you get a full ear of head coach calling a million different things that he probably just went blank on.
Right.
So that's what you see, and it plays out that way.
Yeah. But when we're talking about Florida sports, man, there's a lot of stuff going on. University of Florida started off a little slow. Last couple of weeks started to pick up some things. Even when you look at playing versus Tennessee last week, number 8, they were in a position to win that football game. But yesterday the defense came up to secure the win with an interception. But, just what's the landscape of Florida And in itself, with the different teams that's going on, it's going to be a fight all the way down to the end because
Absolutely.
when you look at Florida, what they have coming up next, of course they got Georgia, number 2. They have Texas, which is number 5. Then they have LSU, which is number 8. Ole Miss, and then Florida State. That's not going to be a cakewalk either. Real tough schedule for the University of Florida.
Just with those teams you named, I kind of give everybody the landscape of what does football look like? It's the NFL. It's the SEC. It's Canadian football. Then it's college football.
And then just talk about the SEC, right? You're talking about Georgia, Alabama, LSU,
South Carolina.
Okay, I'll let you slide that in there. But you can't be easy with Arkansas,
Right.
Ole Miss,
Auburn, Mississippi State,
Mississippi,
Texas A&M.
Texas, all these teams.
Any
man.
given Saturday, like we said last week, any given Saturday, Sam, anything can happen. So I'm not confused. And when I see lopsided scores, when I see Vanderbilt pull up the upset, you're saying, okay, especially with the NIL now, it's not even, but it's even enough where a kid says, I'm from Missouri. I don't want to go to Alabama. I want to stay here, and I'm going to get the bag at Missouri.
Yeah.
So mom can see me, dad can see me, grandma can see me. So the platform that is there, the playing field is kind of even, and you're seeing it now with the best show on turf, the SEC.
Toro, you just hit something, right? You're from South Carolina, right? The Gamecocks right there.
Right.
You stayed close to home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure, right now when you're in the 7th grade, you were the same size in the 7th grade that you are right now.
No, I was
and
not.
And then you had a major injury, when you were in college and had a little setback because you were going to number one safety coming out,
Right.
in '99. Then you had that surgery. But just talk about the landscape versus Florida versus you in South Carolina. These guys down here is like, okay, yeah, I want to go to the University of Miami, but Miami is always the destination where high school kids want to land.
Right.
Florida State, were almost in the playoff last year and always been one of the top teams in the country where guys want to go in, as well as University of Florida. They had University of Florida in a situation to be able to go. But with all the kids that have the opportunity to have the skill set to be able to go to one of those 3 schools, sometimes these guys says, no, I'm going somewhere else. And then, we look at all of a sudden, you look at Ohio State and they have one of the top wide receivers that came from down here, Chaminade Madonna.
Well, living here now and understanding and being from South Carolina and going through my own experience, staying closer to home, it didn't start off that way.
Right.
I committed to Tennessee coming out of high school, understanding that that's where I want to go. I want to get out of here. But when I started to take those visits and be around players and guys that had similar background, things started to open up. But I only had one choice, which was South Carolina, Clemson, if you're going to stay in South Carolina. These guys that live in South Florida, University of Miami, University of Florida, Florida State, UCF, FIU, FAU, they have a plethora of options. And like you said, Sam, 1 year is Florida State. Now it's UM. And the tradition outlasts everything. You have Michael Irvin on the sideline. You got Deion Sanders that played at Florida State, even though he's representing Colorado. A kid that's from Florida saying, man, he's from where I'm from.
Right.
So the exposure is there because the guys that have played in South Florida or played in Florida, the state of Florida, are doing a lot of things off the field, even in their latter years of their lives.
Yeah, man. You look at Amari Cooper, who just left the Cleveland Browns and went over to the Buffalo Bills. We had opportunity to coach him on South Florida Express. We've talked about it numerous times. These guys are popping up and showing up, and you just talked about it. They're getting into their latter years, but they're still being productive in the NFL. And you talked about a team, Florida State. Bro, they just had another loss versus Duke. And then now you're about to jump into Florida State. You already know the magnitude of that game, even if either one of them were ranked. It's going to be a dogfight, but yet still, University of Miami is definitely trying to come in and lay the hammer down. When you look at Florida State, the rest of their schedule, you have coming up on Saturday. Then you have North Carolina, number 12 Notre Dame.
Wow.
Charleston Southern, and then Florida. They on
They could lose every
potentially
game.
only win one game. And
Yeah.
Charleston Southern is definitely going to be looking at
to beat
older
'em.
film, and they're going to be trying to go out and win a football game. So it's really, really tough. But, when you have teams that go to the playoffs of that magnitude, and all of a sudden, when you look at a kids and they're looking at their draft status, that's the best time for you to come out because everything is right there for you. You have all the publicity. You
Right.
played a long, extended time, and now you're like, okay, what is a better time? Coming off a playoff run, and that's what you see happening in Florida State right now, not being able to rebuild with the NIL.
It's showing up. You're alluding to a lot of different things that are, I'm sure they're trying to make right now. I know there's the conversation has to be, guys, we have to regroup and play football. I think the love of football has to stand out for them. But like you said, Sam, they can lose every game.
Yeah.
There's nobody slack that's left on their schedule where if they ran the table like they did last year, they will be thinking, hey, let's keep scoring points. They're talking about stats, because these teams that they're playing only outside of Miami, it's the only one that's with the winning record right now.
Yep.
So it's going to be tough for Florida State, but I think they will right the wrong eventually. But is they're the culture. I think we talked about that. The culture. The culture. You're seeing it. You're starting to see it.
And it's fun again, right? Lamar Thomas, we played with Lamar. He always bring energy. We already know Micah Irvin. Right. And I was in Indy, saw Edrin James. Those guys, they were over there. Just everybody's coming back. Everybody's into it. And when you look at this football game coming up, University, Florida State versus UM, man, they want them.
It's going to be packed.
Former players, they want
that sideline's going to be crazy.
Their team to bury Florida State. That is what they want. And I'm pretty sure that's what the guys are going to be looking to. Jason Taylor, our former teammate, he's definitely bringing energy, NFL Hall of Fame experience to that football team.
His guy's playing well, too.
Yeah, when they get in certain situations, that is the energy that you need. Just like you see Michael all on the sideline, on his knees, going crazy. That's the old school UM way. Guys, and I told you, I bleed orange and green. I'm a UM fan, and I built my game around the University of Louisville. Howard Snellenberger came and got me from North Florida to go to Louisville, but I had the UM mentality,
right.
And because that's where I wanted to play. But they're back onto it. Cam is – we had no pass rush as Louisville Cards, and you cannot allow Cam Ward to be able to sit back there as poised as he is in the pocket, with the speed that he has out at the wide receiver, and Restrepo in the slot, he's going to find an open guy, and they're going to make big plays. 52 points on my cards, man. That was it was an eye opener, but they're for real.
They're for real. Second half showed me that not only does the system work, not only does the culture blooms, not only is Cam Ward a Heisman candidate. They're for real.
Yeah.
They're for real. And Louisville, not a shabby team.
No.
At all.
No.
What you did see, Sam, you saw a lot of Florida boys out there playing.
On both sides.
Both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
That if anything I could say, you saw guys. That's why the score was so high. That's why the relentlessness of both teams were still playing, because you got guys that play against each other in high school that are friends.
Yep.
Ja'Cory Brooks, who was at the University of Alabama, who probably could have went to Miami, decided to do something different. Those guys were out there competing their butt off. It was a show, definitely.
And Miami Northwestern Bulls, I have to tip my hat off to you guys. Thank you. In 2010, I believe, you guys allowed Teddy Bridgewater to come to Louisville and play quarterback. We had an opportunity to induct his jersey into the Ring of Honor. Everybody loved him. I understand we had the Heisman Trophy winner, Lamar Jackson, but Teddy Bridgewater was the guy that started to bridge, and get Louisville over the top and really put us in, championship caliber status. And, just want to tip my hat off and say congratulations to Teddy Bridgewater, Miami Northwestern graduate and head coach, going into the Ring of Honor. Well-deserved, my brother.
Yes. That was a great look.
That was definitely a great look. But, hey, the elephant in the room, Tori, we got to talk about it. Tua coming back. Thoughts? Any
Okay,
concerns?
Definitely concerns. Let's talk about the facts.
Yep.
The facts are concussions, documented concussions. Those are the facts.
Yeah. And guess what? I have 3 documented concussions. That's a fact.
Those are facts.
But I still went out there for 12 years.
Those are facts. So when a fan looks at this situation, of course you want him back, but then you start to think about his health, and that's always going to be a question.
Let me stop you right there, right? Mm-hmm. The first thing that he said is, hey, guys, don't worry about me. I'm going to do what's best for me.
Right.
And what's best for me right now is getting back on the football field. So do superfan Sam, like, okay, I'm rolling with Tua. Because last year he didn't miss a game, Tua.
Right.
He didn't have not one 17, 18, 19 game from preseason, whatever the case may be, all the way through the playoffs. He didn't miss a game.
Right.
Previous before that, 2 and 22, 1 and 0. If it was you,
I'm coming back.
you're coming back.
I'm coming back. I'm going to
Absolutely.
play. I'm going to play.
But he gives us the best chance to win. He has shown that he can run Mike McDaniel's offense, put points on the board, lead the team. Mm-hmm. And I understand what he was doing in that Tennessee game. He was trying to show toughness. He was trying to show the team. He just got paid, Turo.
Right.
Turo, you already know
right.
each and every one of the guys that you played with eventually went and got paid. Guess what? They was like, okay, I need to show the team, the organization that, hey, I'm a 100% bought in.
Right.
And for Tua not to slide in that situation, he was just trying to show his teammate, we're going to fight to the end, and I'm bought in.
I'm the leader. We know the facts, and we know the facts. You know, we know what's documented, and we heard what Tua said. I'm going to support Tua because if I was in this situation, I would want people to trust me.
Yeah.
You know your body. You're the only one that have to live with the circumstances the afterwards. But he's a football player, and I stated that the first time he got hurt. What does that mean, being a football player? You've been playing this game for a long time. You've been running the ball. You've been getting tackled to the ground. You've been running over people. And when that situation happened, 4th and 1 or 4th and inches, he did what he normally does since he's been playing football at the age of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So understanding that, he's going to make those decisions since he's been playing football 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I understand where he is. I understand that this system really fits him. Mm-hmm. Outside of what Alabama did the last year he played, before he got really, really hurt, it works for him. And he's pretty much the only guy that can really run it because it fits him to a T.
Right. Okay, and you hit something, right? You said he looked like a championship player at Alabama, right? So why wouldn't he look like a championship player here with the Dolphins right now? Like, okay, we see the first couple of years, yeah, a little shaky here or there.
Mike McDaniel comes in.
Boom, he looks like all-pro. Come back again, look even better.
Right.
Especially when you have Jalen Waddle as well as
but think about his receivers at Alabama. Think about the receivers he had at Alabama. You know, the offensive coordinator changed twice when he was there. Mm-hmm. So just think about what he had in his arsenal. Same scenario right now. He has 2 great receivers that can fly, you know, and the system is all timing. And it looks amazing on him. Yep. The minute that he gets hurt, nobody can play quarterback. We still got to draft a quarterback this year. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah. You need that backup.
Just saying.
You need a backup. Absolutely. So I'm looking at the hits from, okay, when Tua was playing. You know, even before he went down, he was taking some big shots in the pocket. Okay. Then he goes down. Then, you know, you look at Skyler come in. He was taking extra shots. Now I'm sitting here, I'm talking and I'm thinking, who am I to put at fault here with all of my quarterbacks getting hit?
You started thinking GM and coach right now. Are we talking about O-lineman now?
And that's the part, like, where does the fault really fall, right? Mm-hmm. Because we seen Tua getting hit, you know, with the starting O-line. We've seen Skyler get hit once Huntley got in there. Like,
got
and
3
now
quarterbacks hurt.
It's a couple of quarterbacks that got hurt. Me, Duro, if I'm offensive lineman, I was like, hey, man, we got to do something better.
Right.
But it still hurts you because you put tight ends in positions where they have to block one-on-one defensive ends like we had to do the previous weekend and the previous weekends before that, and they're losing those one-on-one matchups, and they're getting the quarterback killed.
I don't know if you have to orchestrate a new offensive line. We've seen things that have tight ends on the line, tackles off, wings. But you're absolutely right. That conversation that's being had right now is we're watching film and we're seeing we got 3 quarterbacks that have been on their back. We've got 3 quarterbacks that have been injured behind this offensive line. Yeah, you take some of the incidents where quarterbacks were running the ball and they're trying to get an extra yard and, you drop your head, you drop your neck. I get that, but the backup got hurt.
Yep.
The backup got hurt. At some point, we have to look at it and say, guys, we got to protect the quarterback.
Yep.
We have to protect the quarterback.
Let's go and look at, quarterbacks that we've played with. I played with Eli Manning, keep him upright. You played with Brett Favre, keep him upright. Tom Brady, we've seen all these different things. Keeping the quarterback upright is going to give you an opportunity to win more games and ultimately, get you to the promised land, win the Super Bowls. But we got to find that balance of being able to put, tight ends, wings in position to be able to chip, help those offensive linemen, but not leave them one-on-one out there in space with some of the best athletes on the defensive side of the ball, and they're undersized wide receivers trying to block defensive ends.
They've already changed the landscape of the timing of the quarterbacks, not taking deeper drops. Lamar Jackson, you see him doing probably the best quarterback right now out the shotgun, quick release. The timing is totally so that his offensive line can't be penalized too much or can't get in trouble, and it helps them blocking for him. We've done it with the Dolphins, the timing of everything. The offense runs smoothly, quicker, it releases, but there's still something that has to be fixed because what happens when Waddle is covered up? What happens when the cheetah is double teamed? What happens? The timing is off because the tight end had to chip that guy, that end. So back to the drawing board of understanding what we have and what we have to do. And right now, Sam, I don't think they can really fix it.
Yep. It's hard. Third quarter, late red zone turnover, in position to put points on the board. Once again, you get an interception, turnovers. Now the momentum starts to shift. The momentum starts to change. And Huntley came out in the third quarter, but it eventually went down. And then now you bring Boyle into the game. They already know his limitations. When we going into a game, okay, here's the situation. This is a starting quarterback, and we're going to talk about players to her, right? We're going to have the scout come in and he's going to talk. They're going to talk about the backup quarterback. Yeah, he played in Seattle, not a strong arm, not this, that, and other. They're going to give you all that.
Right.
So then all of a sudden Huntley goes out. Oh, man, guess what? Game plans change.
Absolutely.
We're going to stop the run. We're going to put an umbrella over the top, and we're going to make Boyle beat us. Just wasn't able to do it. But the momentum totally shift, and you can feel it in the stadium. And Toro, that's why I really like going to the stadium to be able to feel exactly what's going on in the game and really try to, feel it from a perspective of not just being able to watch, because you can see what's going on, but just feeling the energy start to pick up in that stadium, and then the players start to gravitate toward it, and then they just kind of like took over that fourth quarter, end of the game, and we wasn't able to come out of it.
Definitely energy. You got me laughing inside because you talked about the scouts when they used to come to the meeting room and give the scouting report.
Yeah,
super funny.
Yeah,
because I know that those boys were cracking up when they put his picture up there.
Yeah,
and they probably went all back to high school.
Yep,
because they get funny like that when they want to let you know that how serious in nature they are concerned that if this guy gets in the game, we should kill him.
Yeah. We had opportunity to roll, Poirier, cover 3 dropping out to the flat, flipping his hip, nothing carries to the flat. You carry it as soon as he turned around, the ball goes right over his head. And then I was sitting there and I was watching Monday Night Football. Exact same play, exact same coverage, and the defensive back makes the interception. And I'm sitting there, I was like, we had that play yesterday, and we didn't come up with it. Man, coming up with those small little plays, it helps the team. It helps the special teams, all right? It helps the offensive side of the ball. Then it helps the team in itself because you going in for a red zone score and you just turn the ball over to eliminate that. You know, that's almost like a 10-play swing. But having these guys in situations, and I know that they're going over these little things, these little details. I coach with these guys. I coach with a few of these guys. So I understand exactly, what they're doing. But the players have to come up with those plays, Terrell. And we always hold each other accountable.
Absolutely.
Because when we sit there, throughout the course of the week, we see these plays in practice. We watch them on film. And we know that they're going to run them because that's one of their top plays that have been running throughout the course of the offensive or the defensive coordinators years that he's been coaching. So it's going to get ready to come. You have to make that play.
You got to make that play. The details. You've always talked about it. Had a chance to play with you, and it's all about the details. Getting your head around. Understanding cover three, what can beat you. Before every coverage that you had or every defense that you had, you knew what could beat you. So in the back of your head, you were really looking for that play. And if that play doesn't come, then you're safe. You react to everything else. So I'm sure Poyer, when he's watching that film today, he's probably saying, I should have had that. I should. That makes a big difference because, like you said, that turns games around. Yeah. The momentum. If defense is making plays and getting the ball back for the offense, that energy starts to flow back again. So now that the energy that's lost when the quarterbacks are gone, it comes back through the defense.
Well, big game coming up this week. We have the Arizona Cardinals coming in town. Want to get my kids that I coached there, Jaden Davis. His father played here with the Dolphins for probably like 1 or 2 years. Coach played over at St. Thomas. He's coming into town, but just highlighting once again some of our South Florida kids.
South Florida Express too, as well.
That's definitely still in the league and making names for themselves. It's just, week in and week out, you can look around the NFL. You look at Brandon up at with Pat Surtain in Denver coming with a big interception. Was over at American Heritage. Just fun to be able to just every single week throughout college, throughout the NFL, being able to watch our South Florida kids.
Definitely exciting to see guys, and you get to highlight them. You see that you started thinking like, oh, that guy, we coached him. Yep. Oh, you played. Oh, wow, he's there. So it's a lot of Florida kids throughout the NFL. Big game, like you said, playing against somebody we played against. We played with his father against Marvin Harrison Jr. His father had an opportunity just to meet him afterwards. Not a big dude, but just, man, he played every bit 6'3". He played as tall as his son. That's how he played. But he'll cough it up, too.
Yeah, he'll cough it up.
We knew he'll cough it up as well, too.
Yeah, man. His dad separated my shoulder after I got the interception, though. So I let him cough it up. He landed on top of me, too. I separated my shoulder, He was trying to throw the curl, went over the back, got the interception. He rolled over on top of me. Little dude, too. He's like 175 pounds.
Listen, let's be real. He's a cheat. He never would get on the line. He would put his arm out. I'm like, Marvin, get up, bro.
Get on the line of scrimmage.
Get on the line. He would never. And he played it. And he played the X. He's supposed to be on the line of scrimmage, and he will back up. He's the one who made that wherever the guys to get checked because he would take 2 steps back and say, "Ref, I'm good." So, and the rules are when the ref say you good, that's it. They don't look back.
Majority of the time, Terrell, he played on the offensive right side, the defensive left side. So that was always Terrell Buckley's side. So T-Buck would always come to the sideline and was like, man, this guy, he won't get on the ball. He's over there talking to the ref. I'm like, T-Buck, what are you talking to the ref about? Sam, man, the guy. And then you look on film, he's
way
2 yards in the backfield, and you can't get your hands on him.
Yeah, so
when that is his thing.
Yeah, when they move him to the slide, it was perfect for him.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting on the ball anyway.
Yeah. And while we was there, Dallas Clark, he went into their Ring of Honor up there, and I had the opportunity to hang out with him this summer. I'm a member of the Kentucky Pro Football Hall of Fame. I went in in 2008-9, and they just inducted him this past summer. Had a time to spend with him up in Lexington, Kentucky. So hats off to him and all the the Colt fans, Edrin, Peyton, all those guys came back to support him. So
it was tough.
But we have Aaron, like we talked about. Arizona's coming into town. Had a big win last night, 17-15 over the Chargers. We got to stop Marvin Harrison.
You have to stop Junior. He's doing very well this season. 20 receptions, 300 yards, 4 TDs in the 7-game stretch. Even the little bit of slight injuries that he's having a Pro Bowl year.
Yeah,
he's having a Pro Bowl year, Sam.
Yeah.
That type of target, that type of talent, potentially every game to take over the game. We definitely have to stop him.
Trey McBride, tight end. He's the leading receiver. Had the most targets so far. We have to put a cap over him, but you have Trey Benson, a serviceable halfback. But the one guy that went over 100 is James Conner. Ran the ball very effectively, so they're definitely going to be looking at this pass game and saying, "Hey, we got to get the run game going and swing passes." But I'm not looking for Marvin Harrison Jr. to get anything, because I know one person is going to say, going into the meeting, I want him coach.
like 2-9 used to say.
Absolutely. But, the good thing about that, we always had 2-3 good corners, and we've always – Pat played in the nickel, I would play the right side. But, Jalen Ramsey is –
good guy.
I'm pretty sure he is kicking himself in the butt, because he had a potential for a couple of sacks on Sunday. And, Richardson is a big quarterback. So it is really, really hard. And now I understand why they had Jalen blitzing, because sometimes you sit here and it's like, okay, what was the game plan having him inside and now we're getting beat outside? If you're trying to blitz, you're trying to get pressure on a quarterback. And Jalen Ramsey is one of the bigger corners in the league.
Right.
And he could not even bring Richardson down. So he did get some pressure on him. Should have been a fumble, but they overturned it and gave the ball back to the Colts. But Jalen Ramsey, he's going to go one-on-one with Harrison.
Yeah, he's definitely raising his hand. He's definitely in the meeting room. He's politicking. He's lobbying because it's time for a breakout for him.
Yeah.
If you really, really think about it, he's playing. He's playing. I don't want to not say consistency, but I know the guys are not playing to the level that equals wins. So, but he's playing hard.
Good. And just playing smart football for now, Turo. And we're putting guys in positions and situations to where, they really haven't been there very much, right? So you look at the end of the football game, you look at Tim Boyle, right? Mm-hmm. It is second down. The clock is running. We don't have any timeouts. We run a flat route. You have a rookie running back or a young running back. You throw the ball to him. Instead of him keep running, get out of bounds, get a couple of yards, get in position, he turns back inside. So now you're sitting there, okay, it's third down. You're waiting. Okay, if he would have just, Tim Boyle would have threw the ball over the guy's head, the clock would have stopped. We'd been able to reset. Mm-hmm. But now you have to hurry up. Now it's third down. You can't get the play in. Guys all over the place. You have to clock the ball because you can't get a playoff. Now it's fourth down. So what are teams going to do? They're going to put pressure on it. Get the ball out of your hands, and then the fourth down to try to eventually go up and win the game, you got to throw the ball away. And ultimately, the ultimate player of any game is quarterback kneeling.
Right.
We ended up falling short. But, Turo, hey, man, we had a great time today, man, but it's time to wrap it up. I want you to keep
my 10?
Yeah, your
down
10
to
down to 3. So we're getting ready to wrap it up and give us our top 3. What you got the Dolphins have to do to win versus Arizona?
My 3 takeaways this week versus Arizona. Special teams. That's number 1.
Yeah.
Consistency on special teams. We got to make a play. We got to win special team battle. 2, defense, no explosions. No explosions. No big plays. What that mean, fans? No big plays. 3, we got to run the ball well.
Yep. Run the ball extremely well, Turo. I like all of those, man. You did really good. And bro, you finally
kept it at 3.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
I'm itching to tell you one more, but I'm not.
I'll let you in the next. But, my top 3 takeaways for this game is contain Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray had a 66-yard touchdown run getting outside of the pocket. We can't allow him to get outside because nobody's going to catch him. Number two, we must be, once again, run the football. At the beginning of the game, for the Dolphins versus the Colts, we had momentum in that game, and we ran the ball effectively with A-Chain as well as Raheem Morissette. And let's try to get back to that. And then the bottom line, we have to finish the game. I don't care if you bring in the 4th or the 15th quarterback. Being able to utilize guys, bring them in the game, being able to finish the game offensively, if you're able to get that kneel and solidify the game, or if it's defense, getting the stop, getting the ball back to the offense so we can finish the game and come out victorious. Well, Turo, any shout-outs before we get ready to head out of here?
Shout out to Beacon Sports. Thank you for everything that they've done for us today. Super excited for what the future holds.
Absolutely. And I want to give a shout out to Tim Boyens. He definitely will be going into the Ring of Honor
Absolutely.
This week. This guy, when I first came in, Arturo, he was a guy, he was going into a contract year. So I get there, you don't really see him. And then all of a sudden he missed the whole offseason, and then he walks in here and you was like, man, what is that? And you see him and he's like, unbelievable. Nicest person in the world.
Yes.
He took us under his wing. Him and Pat are, thick and thieves, but tip our hats off to him going into the Ring of Honor. You look at Jason Taylor as well as Zach Thomas going into the Hall of Fame. Man, it was because of Tim Boyne anchoring that defense. But just want to say once again, thank you to Beacon Sport. Want to give the guys behind the glass, Brandon Graham, Chuck, Ray, Christine, JJ, Mark, Robert, Jeff, Alex. Thank you guys putting together a great show. I'm Sam Madison.
And I'm Arturo Freeman.
Hey, 29 Report, and we out.